right, guys. So we got a lot to talk about today. If you are a fan, a lover, a fanboy of Tron, this is not your video. You are probably going to hate me by the time this is done, but honestly, I don't care. It needs to be said, so I'm going to say it. So, FOMO, and I'm doing air quotes here, the D app from Hit Dapps. Round 2 of FOMO has finally come to an end. Thank God. This dumpster fire again of a D app, air quotes, has finally ended, and people are not happy. If you go back to the video that I did some time ago when this thing first launched, I told you guys not to play it, not to get involved with it. There were some things that I saw that suggested that people were not going to break even, and sure as shit, that has actually come to fruition. So what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to pull up the spreadsheet that Hit Dapps put out early this morning, and we're going to take a look at the breakdowns. All right, guys, and basically here you have it. Here you have the FOMO distribution. Anyone who bought keys during this dumpster fire of an event, the addresser list here, you can see how much they put in, and you can see how much they got back out. And when I tell you virtually no one broke even, I mean virtually no one broke even. Again, keys that are owned, and each key, I believe, at one point in time or another cost about a Tron, and it only got more expensive from there. Just to give you guys a little bit of context here, the first round was going on. They had to pull it. I didn't know that you could interrupt a smart contract once it's already in progress. But they had to interrupt round 1 because there were some things that were going on, and they said, oh, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a portion of the keys that have already been sold, and we're going to basically create a super pump for round 2 once it's started, so everybody can get in, get the keys that you want, and then the super pump will start 48 hours after round 2 starts. And I think the super pump was around about 500,000 keys or so, I believe. So look at the amounts that were returned, keeping in mind that a super pump also took place. Like, super pumps are not always going to take place, okay? So you see here on the left, you have the address, the keys that were owned by the prospective users, and the amounts that they got back. Damn. Oh, crap. I don't know how else to say it other than I told y'all so. Everybody was going, oh, this thing's going to be great. You had Trayvon James, and if I ever see Trayvon James, I'm going to punch him in his punchable face. I promise. You had people who were saying, oh, this is great, man, FOMO. Oh, man, I remember how this thing played off on EOS. Or, yeah, man, this thing went on forever, and so many people made money, and nobody with this made money, my dude. Nobody. Everybody came in at about half or so than what they invested in. I mean, can you imagine being the guy who puts in 13,000 Tron and only gets back 5,700? I'd be pissed. 13,000, come on. 20,000, you only get back 87. Wow. 27,000, you only get back 12. 80,000 Tron, you only get back 35. You didn't even make back half. I told you guys when I was going over this originally, there were spelling errors. The English was not perfect. There were just bells and alarms and whistles that were going off that reminded me of BitConnect. Oh, yeah, go ahead, put your money in. Everybody's going to make money. This thing's going to be great. Yeah, And you try and tell people about this, and it's like, Glenn, you don't know what you're talking about. People are going to make money with this. It's going to be great. Tron is the greatest project ever. And like, you guys are idiots, man. If you read the white paper, you know this thing is all hype. When I first got into cryptocurrency, I would wonder why people would shit all over Tron, and now I know why. The Tron devs have no accountability. More so importantly, Justinsun has no accountability to the people who are looking at his project as being something different at a time where crypto is not necessarily getting the best reputation. And a lot of people looked at Justinsun and Tron as, being something different, when in actuality we're getting quite more of the same. So much to the point I got into a conversation with a guy on Twitter last night, and I was basically saying, like, listen, I told people this was going to happen. Look at this, 15,000 only gets back 6,500. I told people this was going to happen. Justinsun has no account. He doesn't hold these devs accountable. He actually promoted this. And this is the result that people are getting. You imagine this, you put in 21,000, you only get back 9,300? Come on, man. Come on. And I can't wait to hear how people try and defend this. Oh, well, next round's going to have a bigger pot to start with, so yada yada. Like I told you guys, just go back and watch the first video. I broke it down. I looked at the rules. I looked at the breakdowns. I said the only people who are really winning at this is yet a guy, if it is in fact a random individual, who wins at the end. And we now know that the person who won was using a bot, and you don't have any defense for a bot. So it's not really fair to the players. There's no fair chance to win. But the only people who were winning at this were the devs, who got broken off a piece of the pot, broken off a piece of the key sales, and the ambassadors. Everybody else got played like a fiddle. And you want to know why at, today, while we're still at the stage of crypto that, we're at. Because nobody is getting in and wants to touch this. Because everybody knows this whole thing is shady, it's fluke, and it's highly, highly volatile. But it's volatile because you got people who are trying to cheat. All right. This run up happened, and I told people yesterday on Twitter. I want to see if I can find it. And here you are. We're on Twitter. If you're not following me, you can follow me at CryptoGlenn. I dropped some helpful hints there. And while this whole thing was going on yesterday, and Tron was passing Tether and passing Bitcoin Cash, SV, and all these other coins, you got Justinsun. Oh, the mooning. Someone created this cute little would-be movie poster. Instead of calling it the Shining, they called it the Moonie because Tron had a little bit of a pump that was going on yesterday. Well, you see how that ended. So Justinsun retweets this, and let me see if I can find what else he retweeted. All right, so I found it. So he basically retweeted this picture that has become so cliche in the crypto space. Whenever someone's favorite coin begins to move up, they put a picture of their coin in front of the Grim Reaper with all the victims that they claim. And the next one, and yeah, Tron did surpass Bitcoin Vision, or Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's Vision, as well as Tether yesterday. And when I saw this, it just chapped my ass into that. I actually had to reply this reply here. Boy, calm all that down. We are one BTC red day away from TRX getting passed by Tether again, and one scam pump away by Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision. Shout out to Craig, right? You know how you be doing them scam pumps. From Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision passing Tron. Don't get excited. Easy cometh, easy goeth. And then I told him, I said, look, man, you need to ask Dapps. They're a total stain on your coin. And look, we saw the huge run up here, and everybody thought this was it. Everybody thought, oh my gosh, we are finally going to the moon. Hence the mooning. That's right. Hence the mooning. So everybody thought, oh my God, I've been holding Tron for so long. It's finally going to pay off. We finally crossed over 3 cents. We're at 3.5 cents. This is it. All those other suckers who weren't holding Tron, yeah, we're finally going to get the last laugh. This is great. We're walking to the shuttle. We're on the shuttle. The shuttle's taking off. The only thing they didn't tell you in the hangar is that you were getting on the fucking Challenger. And you know how that ended. I get up today. I load up Coin Market Cap, and I see, oh, look at that. Tron passed by Tether again. Like I said, we were literally only one red day away from Tron getting passed again by Tether. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but Tron is not the project that's going to take you into riches and fame and glory. It's a shit coin. There, I said it. It is a crap coin, crap of a project. The devs are hacks. Justinsun is a hack. He's lied about partnerships. He's lied about knowing people like Jack Ma personally when all he did was pay a high obscene tuition to go to his school and graduate. Who cares if he bought the torrent sites? None of this matters. So I got into it in a conversation with this guy, Eric Schillmonger, and we were just talking. I said, listen, I had been presenting a case of my displeasement with Dapps and how they've handled fraudulent. It's not fraudulent on the user's behalf. People were buying the Tron coin on, they were basically using the Tron coin to purchase a key on FOMO. The time would run out, and these people, in my eyes, were winning. Like, they should have been the winners. I've seen one video. This individual should have been the winner. We reached out to Tron, or not to Tron, but yeah, we added Tron, we added Justinsun, we reached out to Dapps, and they basically gave us some canned response was, oh, well, if you buy, I'll see if I can find it for you guys, but it was basically, what did they say? See if I can find it. I'll look for it. In the meantime, I want to go up to basically what I was telling this individual. I told him, I said, hey, look, again, I was just explaining my displeasement in saying that, this is not a legitimate project. I think the devs are shoddy at best, and it's a joke. Tron is an absolute joke. And basically this individual was getting at and saying, well, people shouldn't have invested any more than they could stand to lose. And I'm like, if you want to place the ownership on the users, you also have to place the ownership on the devs. Because if the devs code is not working properly, it does not deserve to be running. Maybe it's just me. Maybe that's the way that I hold developers. And if people are spending money on these things, they need to be running flawlessly. So I don't want to place all the ownership on the users, because even if someone just bet at 1 and the timer ran out, that individual is a winner and they should have been paid. And for Justinsun not to say anything about it, and for the Tron Foundation not to say anything about it, I think is very classless, and I think it's very grotesque. And personally, and I'll be honest with you, if I could work with the SEC to shut Tron down, I would. Because there's a whole lot of fraudulent activity going on the decks with fake projects, trying to pose as legitimate projects that real world companies use today, like Watson. And again, I brought that one to light in a previous video, but yet Justinsun says nothing. He holds these devs with no accountability at all, and just continues to turn a blind eye to these kind of things. So this individual is basically saying that, people like you are just mad because Tron is doing so good. And it was at this point where I had told him, I said, hey, listen, I was laughing. I was literally laughing. I said, you mean doing so good? You might want to check your charts, because you're about to lose what little gains that you had made from the pump. And sure enough, the downward cycle ensued. And I went to go ask him about it, and he blocked me. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you know you won, when somebody blocks you. Okay. And throughout the night, I was just saying, like, yeah, man, look, Tron is a ripoff of other Dapps and gimmicks. Pixel is a copy of Decentraland, and FOMO, I believe, was ripped from EOS or Neo, whatever blockchain it was on. In pure Chinese fashion, they just copy what others have already done, and they try to mimic it. It's no creativity at all. At all. While I was also tweeting over the night, I told people during the pump to not, I repeat, to not chase green candles. Here it is, and this is actually before the decline happened. I told people, I said, do not chase green candles. You're begging for heartache. A big pullback is going to come soon. Just watch. The market is designed to take your money, and I just ask people, be smart. Just be smart. Don't bet emotionally. If you're going to invest, invest with logic, invest with, cold hard evidence, indicators, things that tell you when it's time and when it's not time. Some people can invest and make moves and plays on emotion, but they're scaling in or they're scaling out. They're not doing everything in one foul swoop. We had the huge run up here and everybody got excited, and then the drop off happened. And I'm willing to bet not enough people took profits. You saw profit taking up here, but by and large, this is a relatively small amount of profit taking compared to how many people are allegedly invested in Tron. And when I go back and I look at things like the Dapps not running correctly how they should, and people putting Tron into a program, and like the majority of people losing, like, look at this. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is a Ponzi scheme. New money had to come in to support old money. That's the textbook definition of a Ponzi scheme. And that's why I say if I could work with the SEC to shut Tron down somehow, some way, I would. Because these people they got to atone. People have got to know they can't do things like this and get away with it. And the fact that the person who won was using a bot. Guy puts in 65,000 Tron. Like, you start looking at some of these numbers, like some of this stuff starts to add up. 77,000. That's close to 100 grand. Okay. This guy puts in 65 grand. He only gets back 28. 9,000 only gets back 39.51. 29 only gets back 12. Almost 13. Almost puts in 30,000. Only gets back almost 13. Like, this is crazy. Puts in 42,000, only gets back 18.4. Puts in 22,000, only gets back 9,000. Come on. At least if you're this guy, you know, you're like, okay, cool, I'll put in one, whatever. If it does something that doesn't, ooh, snow skin off my back. That's what, I mean, this is why I won't hold Tron. I won't hold Tron. Or maybe I should hold Tron because people are idiots and they're going to make me rich one day. I don't know. But you can tell I have a different kind of tone here because I'm like, I've been trying to warn people about this, you know, for the longest. For the longest. I never understood why people would say Tron was a hype coin when I first got started. After doing some research, I get it now. I get it. It's what saved me from seeing this and buying in here, and then I would have had to deal with all of that on the way down. You believe that? I would have been sick. That's why I told people, I'm like, listen, never waste. Somebody told me, never waste a good bear market. I got in the habit of reading a white paper a night. First, I looked at what should I be looking at when I'm reading these white papers. Then I got in the habit of reading a white paper a night. And then once I started getting comfortable with that, I said, you know what, more importantly, if I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be trading, I need to know technical analysis. Technical analysis saved me, and you may not see indicators here or markers here, but I could look at this and I could tell, I'm like, you know what, this is running up too soon. Easy coming. If I'm looking at the volume, big pullback coming. And that's exactly what we saw. A huge pullback coming, huge sale volume. At this point, the RSI had already been oversold. The DMI was basically redlining. And I knew that we were going to have a pullback. And that's exactly what we had, a pullback. This thing went from like 3.5 cents right back down to where it's, you know, kind of been sitting at 2 cents, 2 and some change, 2 and some 4s. I won't be surprised if this continues to dip. People are trying to establish a little dead cat bounce here if I've ever seen one. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think we'll probably pull back to somewhere around 2.5 cents, 2 and 3 tenths of a penny. This range right here. Then of course, if Bitcoin continues to go down, you know, we could potentially see like 1.9. 1.9 in the short term, and if it's an elongated downturn with Bitcoin, then you're probably going to be resting at 1.5 cents. That's my take on it. And again, no huge indicators. I'm just looking at a few things here. I'm pretty sure if I broke out Fibonacci retracements, if I broke out Ichimoku clouds, I could get a little bit more accurate with it. But what I'm seeing right here is short-term side, 2.3 to 1.9. Bitcoin's depression isn't elongated after that. Then you're probably going to be like 1.5 pennies. It was funny to read people's on the group chat for FOMO and just how like displeased they were. People, oh my God, I lost 10 grand. I lost this. I lost that. Wow, this game took so long and I only didn't even break even. Like, guys, come on. You have got to start using the eye test with this market. You have got to get out of these shitty projects. I know a lot of people like Tron. I don't see it. And I like XRP, like coins like XRP and Polymath, but when these things don't perform well, or if I see something happening, I get rid of them because I'm in the business of making money. I don't think there's going to be, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think there's going to be any true coin that, you know, gets ready to usher in a new era outside of Bitcoin. I think Cardano was still a long ways off. I did like Polymath, and then I'm looking at Polymath and I'm saying, you know what? If Polymath is just a basis off of Ethereum, Ethereum could essentially do the same thing. I get what they're trying to do in terms of issuing the security token standard, and I think that's cool. But what I'm saying is, if you like Polymath, don't be surprised if Ethereum wakes up one day and they say, we can do the exact same thing, or we can offer the exact same thing. And I think they know they can. I just don't think they're 100% ready to do it yet. Sea Coin is a project I really enjoyed, but for some reason, like, they're just having a hard time. Like, I think decentralized cloud storage, taking information and basically breaking it down and spreading it across multiple servers, I think that's a great idea. So that way, if one point of entry is attacked by a hacker, they can't retrieve your information. I know Storage or Strom or whatever they're called is doing the same thing, and maybe that's going to be the program. But I like Sea Coin, but they're just not performing, and because they're not performing, I had to get out of it. Glad I did. I mean, I don't want to beat on a dead horse here. Like I said, I was right. I tried to tell people many months ago, many weeks ago, do not get involved with this. I tried telling people about, let's see here. I tried telling people about this one Tron bet. You never see someone betting like 20x moon at $5,000 and that actually coming out. Because when it does what it's getting ready to do, that, initiate bets, it's taken into context what you are getting ready to bet and at what point you want it to moon, and then it basically adjusts itself off of that. And I originally started not liking Tron Bet when I would play dice, and I'm just like, you know what, it's boring, it just doesn't feel good. And yeah, I mean, I won a little bit, I lost a little bit, but it just didn't strike me. And then Moon came out, and I'm like, I'd already had a bad taste in my mouth from dice, and I'm looking at Moon, I'm just like, you know what, I just don't trust it. See what I mean? 1.73. Let's see what people bet on this 1.73. Willing bet there was some $5,000 bet or 5,000 Tron bets. Is that it? I don't know. Nope, that's not it. Gotta wait for it. Is it gonna put it? Yep, there it is. Two won bet 10. And see, they won't even tell you what they bet at. This would make me feel better if I saw people who were betting like 5,000. Oh, this thing's going to 15x moon, and then they were profiting and they were doing well. That's why I believe anybody who tells you that, you know what, they're playing this game, they're playing any game, and they've won more than they lost, like they're probably lying to you, or they just got started and they got a little lucky. Like these apps, these D apps, and I'm doing air quotes, they're designed to take your money. There is no fair odds for players. I mean, literally, look what okay, let's see what this one does. 7.2. This person bet. Yeah, see, they bet small because they know if they bet big, they're going to lose. We know HD apps. We know the FOMO game literally was a Tron grab, and it took people's crypto. Like they're trying. Like we know that. So I can't say anything new that I've already said other than Tron is a shitcoin. The devs are hacks. They just develop cash grabs to get you out of your Tron, more so importantly, to get themselves rich. And they take other projects that are already established and they just simply copy them over to Tron. Like this pixel, this is nothing more than Decentraland. Then if somebody wants to buy it, then they basically have to, you pay the Tron, this Mona Lisa dab, and you'll pay the Tron, and then if someone wants to buy it from you, then allegedly you're supposed to get royalties every time someone buys it. But the more people who buy this, like if 4 people buy this, if someone else buys it, then those 4 people who bought it before the 5th person, their royalties will probably be a little bit more. But if 57,000 people buy that, the royalties get diluted. These have a referral, these things that have referral links, or these things that, we're going to pay you royalties, or like, these are not sustainable business models. They're not going to be around for a long time. And it bothers me that people will invest in them just because they think that, oh, well, I'm going to continuously get paid out. You'd be better off just setting aside a small budget and buying what it is that you like every week. Like, I'm having a hard time formulating my thoughts because I'm happy that this happened to Tron, but at the same time, just the business practices that they engage in, it infuriates me because I know as long as things like this exist, the crypto space is never going to get to where it's supposed to be. Ever. So I'm happy Tron is down. I'm happy that I was right about the FOMO game, and it'll come out sooner or later. Like, I mean, because people were doing FOMO and they were literally sending me pictures. They were sending me videos of them buying the keys, the timer expiring, and them not being able to win the jackpot. So I'm glad now the cat is finally out of the bag, and hopefully people will be smart about the things that they invest in. My best advice to you is, if you are holding Tron, you can take this as financial advice. I don't care. My best advice to you is, if you're holding Tron, get out of it. It's not the one. Get out of it. And if you've got a lot, sell it, trade it in for Bitcoin, sit on the Bitcoin. Maybe you trade it if you know what you're doing. If you're in a position where you can use leverage trading, if you know what you're doing, maybe you go that route. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do with that. But I can tell you Tron is not the one. And people will say, oh, you're bad talking Tron. What do you like? XRP? I do like XRP. But here's the thing. When people would tell me XRP can't go to 589, I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right, because there's just not enough liquidity in the world. Or here's the reason why XRP will never be this price or that price. As long as their argument makes sense, they can provide it with facts, or they can, prove that with facts, I'll listen to them. But when you listen to some of these people, oh, Tron's going up to $3, and it's because they bought Pirate Bay, or they bought this, they bought that. I'm like, man, get out of here. Get out of here. In closing, Tron took a shit. It's a shit coin, and FOMO's over. The cat's out of the bag. It was a huge cash grab, and I hope they never make another penny in this mother. And if the SEC wants my help to try and shut Tron down, I would be more than happy to aid and assist in any way that I can. Last point, as always, be careful who you are getting your information from. A lot of these people are just looking at their audience as a way to pimp out. Basically that. They're just looking at their audience as a way to make them money by pimping them out. Oh, get involved with this. It's got a referral link and make me money. I do not promote anything that has a referral link. And definitely I won't do it unless I'm like 100% sure that it's on the up and up, and it's going to help more people than it's going to hurt. That's all I got for you guys now. Tron took a shit. Major shit coin. FOMO's a terrible D-app. Don't play it. Matter of fact, don't play anything that Hit D-apps comes out with, and don't play anything that Tron Bet comes out with. If you are looking at it as a way to gain more Tron, it's super cheap. You'd be better off just buying it. That's all I got for y'all. I'll see you soon. Peace.